with more opportunities to win cash. Let us give you a bonus this year. A bone bonus. Sponsored by Farah and Farah Personal Injury Attorneys, Tampa. FarahandFarah.com. Now, back to Real Raw Radio. Sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Now, back to Miggs and Swig on 102.5 The Bone. Happy Hour. Happy Hour. Happy Hot Topic.
I'm getting old, so I just played that air horn sound effect, and I did like a flick with my finger to try to pump myself up, and I sincerely just hurt my back a little bit. Man, being 28, it's a weird feeling where like you can see the age of 30 right in front of you, and you try to appreciate being 28, and then you hurt your back just doing a flick, and it makes you think about your own mortality. On that exciting note, this segment is Hoppe Hour, filling in for Miggs and Swig. But let's get the up-tempo vibes going. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. I got a few nice messages this week. It was very sincere, and it really warms my heart if I get hate or love because you're talking about me. But I'm not going to read it on air. I think it is absolutely, positively nauseating, sociopathic, and even a little psychopathic when radio shows begin their day with emails. But the emails are never critiquing how their show's going. They only read the emails that are positive. It's one of the most nauseating things ever, and I've seen that. So I don't read the messages. I get a lot, but I'm like, I'm good. Because that means you're flexing your small d energy. You don't believe in yourself. You have to let everybody know how great you are. Everybody at the Bone, we know we're great. Tampa listens. We don't have to let you know. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. If you want to have a good night tonight, you're in a relationship, you want to have a date night, looking to take your buddies or your babes out into town, maybe girlfriend is the more politically correct word. Take your girlfriends out into town or whatnot, or you just want to see the scenery of good-looking people of all genders, whatever you identify as. Because when you go to Mead Market in Tampa, you got to bring your sexy on, man. It's at 1606 West Snow Avenue. It's 1606 West Snow Avenue, and that's in Tampa. 813-280-1113. That's 813-280-1113. And for all the info, meadmarket.net. All right. We have so much to get into, but it's funny. It's an end of an era for anybody who's working at the Bone, but I think it's only fitting that I'm a part of this end of an era. No. The Bone's not going anywhere. The end of the era is this board that I'm talking into and pressing the buttons, as people say, button pusher. Yeah, I push your buttons. Haters. This board that I have in front of me will be going away during the Johnny B replays. And everybody at 102.5 The Bone will have a new board this Monday. It's not going to sound any different to you. You guys are going to get the best talk radio that you can get anywhere. But let me tell you, for me, I've been sitting behind this board since I was doing overnight replays in 2015. And I want to pour one out for the homie known as the Harris board, Netwave. You've been good to us. You've had moments of radio gold and moments where people told me I would never make it. And for that, we pour one out. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. It was really awesome. So, by the way, a lot of the behind-the-scenes people don't get enough love at times. You got Mike Olivero kicking ass in promotions. You got Corey Cardinal, who is the Swiss Army knife of this company. He's awesome. But also, shout out to the engineers. Shout out to Mike Cernak, Dylan Scott, and Jeff. Because they'll be in here fixing the board on the weekend, replacing the board, coming in on the weekend to work. And it was funny. I believe it was Dylan's dog. He brought his dog to work, and it was really awesome seeing it. And I had like a 2-minute commercial break, I had 2 minutes before we were coming back from break. We've never had a 2-minute commercial break on the bone, let's be honest here. And I was running down the hall because I had to go to the bathroom real quick because I chug an energy drink before I do this routine. And his dog was chasing after me. And I think that was the first time that I got a dog to like me. Because whenever I'm around dogs, they don't like me, bro. And sometimes I don't like myself and I need to work on my confidence, so maybe I'm projecting. But whenever I've canvassed for like this politician that ran for some government, I canvassed for a senator 4 years ago, and I kind of lean Democratic because I believe in like women's rights or whatever, but I like the money aspect of Republicans and I don't vote. And I was paid $25 an hour. I'm not flexing about money, to go door to door to drop off flyers for this politician. And every house I would go to, the GPS tracker on the app could tell if you walked up to the door. So you had to walk up to the door. So all the dogs would be barking all the time. And it was so funny because it was like, they're like, what do you want? Because like, you're never happy when someone's at your door canvassing. You're never like, oh my God, I want to have a conversation with this solar expert or this religious, I don't want to trash religion and say that certain religions, but the religions that canvass or the politicians. You're never like, oh my God, come on in. I have some food for you. I have this and that. You always shut the door. So I had to go to each door, and dogs were always barking at me and didn't really seem to like me. So I just had a first time ever. This is a big day for me, getting to host in a top 20 market. I'm the last one to do a live show on this board, and Mike O will be in next. So we're the last 2 shows, and dogs finally like me, man. So I feel like I've made it a long ways in these 7 years that I've been in Tampa radio. I've also come a long way with my mental health. I don't react to negativity. And if I do, it's like a huge explosion. And then I'm like, Jesus, why am I getting mad about negativity? But let me tell you, when you work on your mental health, you have to be real with yourself and you have to be silent. When you're letting everybody know, oh, I'm working on my mental health. You're not working on your mental health. You're letting everybody else think you're working on your mental health so they're nicer to you because you're letting everybody else know you're mentally ill. And that would go with one, Kanye West.
Ignore it and just try to do whatever's best for the kids. That's what I love about you. Because take the high road. It's, following a whirlwind of public feuding on social media between Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. A source tells ET the 44-year-old rapper has been laying low and is focusing on healing.
If there was an ultimate definition of being bipolar, it would be me. No, but also, the ultimate definition of bipolar would have to be Kanye West. For like 3 months, actually for like 3 years, he was going crazy. He was saying, oh yeah, we almost aborted our daughter when he was running for president. And then he had his mental breakdown when she divorced him. And I'm gonna bury Pete in the ground with this creepy clay animation and da-da-da. And then he goes away. And it's like, bro, you should have gone away 2 years ago. it's weird because he has that song on his album, Donda, where he's like, we off the grid. It's for the kids. Everything I do is for them. And it's like, in what universe, bro? That's like one of my favorite songs ever. It was top 20 on my Spotify last year. I can't play it on the radio. But I'm like, in what world is Kanye West ever off the grid? That would be like if I were to make a rap song, which I did a few videos for the morning announcements 12, 13 years ago in high school, and I called myself DJ HOPPE, wondering why I'm not getting laid. But also, the reason that I did that was to fit in, and it didn't work at all. And it would be like if I were to bring back the DJ HOPPE moniker and be like, I'm coordinated. I'm coordinated. It's like, no, you're lying to yourself. I'm not coordinated, and Kanye West is not off the grid.
I'm just extremely happy. Can you tell by my face?
The 41-year-old Skims founder filed for divorce from the Grammy winner back in February 2021. And while the two seem to be on good terms for a while, co-parenting the 4 children they share, by 2022, things took a turn, with Ye hurling a series of accusations at Kim on Instagram.
That's always good. You know what I love? I do think a lot of times the mothers hold back the kids from the father to use them as pawn. But I think a lot of times when you go on social media, because I'll see some listeners do this, or my girlfriend has friends from her high school, and they go on social media and they post about their, like, I don't want to say baby mama drama because it goes with both genders, their baby drama or their relationship drama. And they're like, why the hell does that person now want to sleep with me anymore or even be in the same room? It's like, because you're going on social media talking about it. You're not off the grid.
You just gotta roll with it. And trashing her new boyfriend, Pete Davidson, both online and in song.
God send me from...
I gotta skip over this so I don't, there's any swears. I don't think there'd be Entertainment Tonight swears, but when you're on FM radio, you're careful, man.
Source says Kanye is trying to disconnect from all the drama that happened between them. Quote, he is focused on taking care of himself, getting healthier, and removing himself from all the craziness.
So what does that mean? Removing yourself from all the craziness? Does that mean you're becoming a deadbeat where you're like, I don't want to be around any of this? Because it sounds like all the craziness was between you and your family. So by removing the craziness, should we replace the word craziness with family? And removing himself from all the family? Because there was nothing else really crazy. It was all about his family. So is he just going, whatever? God, deadbeat dads are the worst. And I'm not saying he's for sure a deadbeat dad, but, I mean...
The source explains that the musician cares deeply about his family and kids.
Oh, he does?
Adds that they are his number one priority.
Yeah, number one priority. Nothing says, I love you, honey. Nothing says, you mean the world to me, you are awesome, I care about you. Like running for president and talking about how you almost got an abortion. I mean, that's a noble man there. Not at all. That's a man of integrity. Not at all. For a second there, I actually thought Kanye West was going to be president. But you can't go out there. Like, that's something you never get over. Imagine having that. You have a mom who literally got banged by Ray J. Which, that's embarrassing. It's not even the sex tape part. And then you have Kanye West with all his skeletons in the closet. My goodness.
He's working on himself.
I just traveled to get something for Kim.
You went all the way to LA to get something for Kim?
Mm-hmm.
You were something else.
Meanwhile, Ye made his debut on the Famous Family's new Hulu series this week with...
Man, Kris Kardashian, she doesn't insult people, but she says things in a condescending way. It's worse than an insult. Hear this disgust she has for him.
You went all the way to LA to get something for Kim?
Mm-hmm.
You were something else.
Meanwhile, Ye made his debut on the Famous Family's new Hulu series this week with a grand gesture for Kim.
You got me all of the sex tape back.
Like I said, I never, ever watch these clips before I go on air because I want to have a genuine reaction, because then I would have known a minute 35 in that this would be said. I mean, for the normal person, they would be embarrassed to have a sex tape out there because it's them having sex on camera. But I think Kim's more embarrassed that sex tape was awful. I mean, it gets the job done, but it ain't anything special. If it was just her and she wasn't famous, you'd be like, oh, this POV is awful.
Oh my God.
And he flew home and got computer. It was on the hard drive.
So they're having a classy party, and there's like 12 women in a room, and there's like snacks everywhere. Like, can you imagine you have a reunion with your friends? Man, I said that funny with my Chicago accent. And you're like, what have you been up to? And you're like, oh, I got my sex tape, brought back. Like, that is just a world that we cannot relate to.
And met up with Ray J at the airport and got it all back for me.
Oh, Kim. Sweet, right?
Too bad they sold it to Vivid Entertainment, so I don't really feel bad. I don't have enough time, but Alec Baldwin, there's new footage that shows the aftermath of the tragedy. I think Alec Baldwin is an elitist creep, and if anybody else did what he did, they would not get away with it. But, he was in 30 Rock and Beetlejuice. Let's let him get away with it. Elite people are the worst. I don't have time to talk about it because the Mike O show is up next. But if you guys liked what you heard, which of course you did, go to every single major platform that has a podcast. That would be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Spreaker, Amazon Music, Mixcloud, Odyssey, any of them. And search up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. You can tweet at me at any time, at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Unfortunately, if you're a jackass, I'll block you, but I appreciate you reaching out. 856-49-HOPPE is my voicemail if you want to call me during my podcast during the week. And you can always email me if you're traditional, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. But most importantly, up next is the Mike O radio show with Corey Cardinal, Mike O, and Denise. And then it all returns this Monday, 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 and 5, your chance to win money. We got free gas coming up soon. 102.5 The Bone is the man of the people.
You're listening to Miggs and Swig on 102.5 The Bone.
At Bernetti, PA.